Hello and welcome back to the Spotlight Games podcast for episode 192. I'm your host, Patrick. Joining me this week, my sweet dumpster boy, Cayman Darty. Cayman, what you know about the Hershey's Crackle?
I'm sorry, the what?
The Hershey's Crackle?
The Hershey's Crackle?
Yeah. What you know about the Hershey's
Do you have
Crackle?
photo evidence?
This is a Christmas variant.
Okay. I think, does it normally like silver or yellow on the ends?
I want to say maybe yellow. Well, no, Mr. Good Bar, I think, is the yellow one. I don't remember what the regular Crackle
Hold on.
paper is.
Okay, hold on. Is this like a... Oh, hell yeah. It's got the yellow writing with the silver ends. Yeah, that shit rips.
Yeah. A chocolate candy with crisped rice. I've come to learn I love a crisped rice and chocolate. It's basically a Crunch Bar, yes. Sure, that's exactly right. It's Hershey's version, not Nestle's version. But crisp rice, give me that all fucking day. Cayman, how you doing?
Give me all that crisp rice. I'm good, Patrick. We were talking before the show began that I am a man. I think I'm in a manic episode.
Tell me about your manic ways.
So let me tell you a little bit. So we get home from the in-person live event.
Yeah. Which go get your merch at dropinDropOutPod.com.
Yeah. Sorry, I got your shirt still with me, Patrick. So
is it?
Ship that back. Yes.
That's fine.
So we've got so we get home and I walk inside and then I give my wife I finally make it home. I don't make it home because of a snowstorm. My wife has to pick me up. So for story purposes, just say I arrive home. And my wife looks at me and she's like, "Cayman, what the fuck is that?" And I said, "What?" She said, "You know exactly what I'm talking about."
You said,
Cayman.
"What?
What
do you mean?
The fuck is that?" And I said, "You mean my giant Publix cup?"
Celebrating 95 years, motherfucker.
It's the 95th anniversary of Publix.
Oh yeah.
If you don't know what Publix is a regional grocery store.
That's so
What
funny.
happens is we leave to go to Alabama, and I forgot my Nalgene, which I found that the people apparently don't call them they just don't call them Nalgenes. They call them water bottles. Though I'm like, it's a very specific thing.
Yeah, I mean, the specific water bottle, the Nalgene water bottle.
The Nalgene. And I feel like that's something that people know. Regardless, I leave mine at home and I'm like, fuck. So long story short, Patrick and I get to Alabama and I'm like, I got to get a cup. I got to get something to keep water in through this 12-hour stream we're about to do. And what is sitting on a shelf on clearance for only a few dollars?
Oh, yeah.
This giant Stanley that is Publix branded. And for audio listeners, Publix, if you don't know, is lime fucking green. It is like just a shade darker than a tennis ball.
Yeah.
That's their logo color. And so I walk in and my wife is like, first things first, no. Like, what are you doing with this fucking cup? And I'm in love with it.
What, is she a Kroger stan?
No, I think she just hates Stanley cups for some reason. Sure. Which is fair. So basically, she's called me things like basic.
Yeah.
Specific basic ass bitch, I think at one point was a term she levied at me.
Mm-hmm.
Look, here's the thing. This big fucking thing is heavy as shit. It's ugly as shit.
Yeah,
and I'm like a lizard guy now, but I'm like a Publix Stanley cup instead. You know
Well, here's the thing. Sid needs to grow up. The Publix cup is here to stay.
Sure.
We're celebrating 95 years, so either get on the fucking train or you're walking. You know what I'm saying?
Correct. Here's the thing. She bitches at me all the time about how I never drink water. But I'm not Jake. I literally only drink water.
Yeah, sure.
And soda water. That's like the only two things I actually consume.
Yeah.
But she's like, you don't go through enough. You need to drink like 80 ounces of water or something insane. And I'm like, okay, I'll go through like 40 in a day, which is not enough, obviously. But then I get this fucking cup and I'm like, I'm always drinking now. Yeah. This thing doesn't leave my side. It's always full.
I love that.
And she hates that for me.
I am still pretty pissed though I'm pissed in two ways. High School Weekly reminds me the irony of them denying us chicken for the Tindy tour. Most of my ire, let me be crystal clear before I get in trouble. Most of my ire is directed at Publix. Right. But I would be lying if I said even like 10% of my ire also going to Hunter for not going to Publix sooner. because by the time Hunter got to Publix, they're like, no, it's too late. What if you went to Publix first? Is all I'm saying. I'm just asking
What
questions.
if
I'm just here asking
what
questions,
if
Cayman.
what if you like actually blame it on the right thing, which is we need to direct our ire to Whataburger and their dog shit
Man.
tenders.
It's so. Well, we haven't really talked about, or at least you and I haven't really talked about the in-person event since it happened. I have never. I don't know. I feel like everyone seems to, typically feel like their opinions are right because it's their opinions. But I do feel like I typically have my finger on the pulse generally. There are things that I know it's like, oh, this is a me thing that I like a lot. Like I know not everybody likes Conker's Bad Fur Day as much as I do. Like that's something that I recognize and it's not I don't expect people to like Conker's Bad Fur Day. But when I brought up Whataburger, I was confident that people were going to be surprised at how good the Whataburger tenders were. So that when I was like, this is dog shit. But it's not even that those ones were bad. It's that I have just been living a lie and I wasn't
Right.
willing to confront that for years I've been eating these tenders knowing that they were shit, but I hadn't had the bravery to admit to myself that I've been
You had a
eating
good
shit
fast food tender.
tenders. Because they were bad. Like really bad.
Patrick, you're getting called out in the chat right
Am
now
I?
about your love of Conquer.
Oh yeah? Decent in the chat. What
Yeah.
up, Decent? Hey bro, Ratchet and Clank exists. Why play Conquer? Let me first be clear by saying thank you for asking the question. I love the question. I would counter by saying those games are very different. Their protagonist just kind of looks similar. Like would you agree, Cayman, that I feel like the base gameplay of Ratchet and Clank, other than generally platforming, doesn't really share much DNA with Conquer at all?
It's like a furry small animal.
Right, because I feel like with Ratchet and Clank, it's
Conker's
very
what, a
much
wombat?
Conker's a squirrel.
No,
But I think Ratchet
no,
is
it's Conker.
wombat.
Sorry, Ratchet.
I think Ratchet
a
is
wombat.
wombatty. But also it's
Sorry,
just like Ratchet
right.
is a gun game, is a shooting game.
It is a
where I
gun
feel like
game.
Conker
It is a shooting game.
is more just a jump around.
Fine, fair. It's just a standard platformer.
What weapon does? Yeah. Does Conker have a weapon? It's been long enough that I've played it. I can't remember.
I know, like in certain levels. Are you about to soft launch?
That
you
I've never
doing
played
a
Conker?
Conker's Bad Fur Day stream? Or
I'll be laughing all the way to the bank. I think so.
I love.
He does shoot the Matrix.
Speaking
action,
of Conker,
right. Yeah.
Speaking of Conker, Patrick, I have some predictions for later.
Oh, you want to transition into the show, Cayman? Because we have some video game stuff to talk about, because this is the Spotlight Games podcast, where each week we spotlight the latest and the greatest in the world of video games. You can get it by subscribing to our YouTube channel at Spotlight GameSpot, or by searching for Spotlight Games in your favorite podcast app. And hey, you can be on the show by tuning in as we record live at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on twitch.tv/Spotlight GameSpot, just like Kayla Gray, welcome in, Cirrus Shard, High School Weekly, Heroic Headgear, Coal Mines, Decent. Cog was here earlier. I think maybe that's everybody. If I forgot you, I'm just going to tell you I can't read. But be like them. Follow us on Twitch so that you're notified when we go live, so you can be part of the conversation. We do have a fun show for you tonight. We're going to be making State of Play predictions. We're going to be talking about Obsidian's woes. And, of course, our weekly segment, the News Spotlight, where we just kind of burn through the rest of the week's news at the end of the show. But before we do any of that, we start all of our shows with what we're playing. But before we do even that, Cayman, I do want to very briefly talk about some very, very quick housekeeping. Our friends over at the JK Games Podcast last night finished up their Wolf Among Us playthrough and review 3-episode arc. I have some catching up to do. I was able to listen to like half of each of the episodes. In a perfect world, I wanted to play all the game again, but I didn't get to. So I want to play the game again and then listen back through all the episodes in full. But what I did hear, very good conversation. Kayla brought her brother on, so it was all three of them plus Coleman. Very good episodes. Go give them a watch, give them a listen. And then later this week on Drop In, Drop Out, the reason we're doing predictions tonight for the State of Play is that myself the Dumpster Boy came in. Jerica, I think just us three, potentially also Jake Twitchen, going to be breaking down the state of play. And depending on the quality of said state of play, we're going to have one of two conversations. A bigger conversation about these kinds of delivery systems of video games. If it's bad or if it's good, maybe that'll just be enough to talk about for a whole episode. But we're going to play it by ear and see how that goes. So some fun stuff to look forward to the rest of the week in the Drop In, Drop Out network. But Cayman, I've already kind of built it up a little bit in the Discord.
Yeah.
It's already been mentioned in the chat. It's time to talk about what we've been playing. But Cayman, I do want to make them wait just a little bit longer. Cayman, I want to start with you. What have you been playing?
Oh boy, Patrick, what have I been playing? I have been playing Dragon Quest VII Reimagined.
Oh, let me stop you right there, motherfucker.
Oh, you brother.
Oh, I'm fired up, Cayman.
What are you playing?
Am playing Dragon Quest VII. The glasses are off, and I'm not done. The fucking shirt's off, brother. I am so fucking pissed about Dragon Quest VII. Let me walk you through my weekend, Cayman. I get the Dragon Quest VII
I know
demo.
exactly what happened.
I'm playing it. I'm like, ooh, I'm only playing a little bit here and there. I'm having like a decent time, but something about this game just isn't really drawing me in. But every now and then I experience something that I really like. I'm like, ooh, I get into this little like beach section. I'm like, ooh, this is a really pretty, this game is like fucking gorgeous as shit. I'm really into this, but I'm kind of done for the night. I'm going to go back to Ball Pit. The next day, I boot it back up. I'm playing a little bit more. Go to a dungeon, fight some slimes, having a great time. Put it down, whatever. I probably have like 3 more hours of the demo left. Continue on with my life. Have some friends over. We drink. That's all we do. We didn't do a single other thing. Came in. And then it's like, you know what? They're gone. I just want to play some more Dragon Quest. And I get to the end of the demo. And I'm like, oh, you know what? Dragon Quest VII, really, I am surprised. This is the first time I've really wanted to play a Dragon Quest game now. It's got me in. I'm ready. I finished the demo and they're like, thanks for playing for 7 hours, Cayman. If you enjoyed it, why don't you go over to the Nintendo Switch eShop and buy the full game? And I'm like, you know what? You know what, Cayman? I am going to go to the Nintendo Switch eShop. I am going to buy the game. I drop $60. I download the video game, Cayman. It boots up. I see a little banner at the bottom. We've detected your save. Fantastic. Can't wait to just pick up at the end of this 7 hours. I press start game. It says, what would you like to name your character? I say, excuse me? What do you mean what would I like to name my character? I have 7 hours of Dragon Quest VII. I close the game. I open it. I was like, oh, maybe it's just like a glitch or something. Loads up. Gives me the little opening video again. Click start new game. Because I don't see a continue button. It says, what would you like to name your character? I say, excuse me? I go to Google. I Google Dragon Quest VII demo progress not carrying over. I see not very many people talking about this, but I do find a thread on Reddit. Come to find out, Cayman, apparently I played the Switch 1 demo and I bought the Switch 2 version. And you know what? Fuck me, I guess, because apparently the Switch 1 demo, which was very unclear that that's what I was playing. Okay, very unclear. Okay. I fucking buy it. Now I have to start all the fucking way over. And the rage I felt when I realized I deleted the game, I re-downloaded it because someone on Reddit was like, "Oh, this exact thing happened to me. Deleted it, re-downloaded it, worked." I'm like, "Oh, good. What a weird bug, but it's gonna work." I deleted it and I re-downloaded it 3 times. Came in, nothing. God. I fear Dragon Quest is fucking dead to me, and if anyone ever tries to convince me to play this game, I will commit a violence.
Hear me out. First, I would say it's maybe some might say.
Watch it. Watch what you're saying here.
User error I'll tell you this much. Are you ready for this?
Was it user error came in when I just search Dragon Quest 7 and I click a thing and it says download demo? There's no banners. There's no explanation that it's a difference
That
between.
seems like be mad at Steve Nintendo, not Steve Dragon Quest
Well,
7.
you know who sent in all these assets for Steve Nintendo? Steve Dragon Quest and Steve Squeenix. I think all parties are at fault, including you, Cayman.
Okay.
I think you are also at fault here.
Hear me out. I ran into the exact same issue. And apparently you have to have like they were like online where like you have to have the demo saved. So I put in an additional so I restarted the game and was like, fuck it. You ready for this? You're gonna hate this and also kind of love this because I give you hope. Patrick, I bring you hope.
Give me hope. Bring me hope.
And that is that you just skip through all of like the dialogue and everything because you don't need it and the cutscenes. You don't need it until you get back to where it ended.
Yeah.
I made it 3/4 of the way through in like 45 minutes because I was like, I don't really need to do much of anything else right now. Just get back to where I was. Then the demo, then it popped up and was like, oh, we found your demo save. And I was like, I'll take that instead. So it is quick to get back to where you were. I promise. It is quick.
But
because
however,
what I would tell you what to do is
put
it on auto battle on the easiest difficulty setting, and then you can just skip through everything, and then once you get back to where you are, then reset everything back to how you like it settings wise. I promise you can get back to where you were in like an hour.
I do think, however, if I were to do that, then I would have to give up on my new life goal, which is put Square Enix out of business for this.
I feel like, you know what? I feel like let me tell you why I feel like you're missing out.
Okay.
Because I've actually played the game. I've put 25 hours into it so far.
Okay.
From my understanding, it takes between like 50 to 60 to platinum the game. Very straightforward. Yeah. I'm telling you right now, Dragon Quest 11 is a masterpiece. I would go as far as to say Dragon Quest 11 is the greatest JRPG of all time. Like, I will die on that hill.
Yeah, you're gonna
Dragon
die
Quest
alone
7
on that
fucking rules, man. This game is so much fun. It's just so lighthearted and so clean and crisp, and like it has perfect pacing. Like you never feel because like the way the game's broken up, and you don't really see the full extent of it, obviously, in the demo. But like once you clear an area, you're going back and forth in time, and then when you clear a new timeline or new area that you get transported to, that island pops up, and you get to see it in present day, and it has like a new story arc going. And each story arc they're short, right?
Yeah. So
they're maybe only a couple hours long each one, and they're so quick you're going through with these wonderful little moments, and it's just so sweet and like such just like a feel good game. Dragon Quest I've always stood by is a cozy game.
It's really made me feel very good. This game has really made me feel very good. I would call it a feel good game myself too, Cayman.
Okay, if you remove what happened to you at the end, remove that anger and spite.
So you're telling me to not feel my feelings?
Yes, I'm telling you this one exact moment in time.
Sure.
Let me gaslight you a little bit here.
Okay, now scene. Today I was in a long meeting, allegedly. And I was like, I don't need to be here, but I'm here. And I did burn through about half the demo in like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I want to play it.
Though?
Yes, I am. Because I really did enjoy the demo. I did. And I was like, you know what? Because I went down, I like tried to do the refund, but Nintendo is so bad. It's like the second it's starting to download. And it automatically downloads, basically, when you buy it digitally. You can't get the refund. So I'm like, it is stupid of me to throw away $60 I spent when I was like, okay, I can just fucking, because even by the end of the demo, because I was getting like tired when I was playing it the last night, I did some auto battling even then. So I was like, okay, I remember I can just auto battle from the beginning. That'll save me some time. And I remember seeing the press hold Y to skip, so I can still fucking do it. I can just and so I have gotten through a lot of the demo again already. But man, that rage that I felt.
Yeah.
Because, we've talked about it before on the show even, of like one of my biggest deal breakers with games is losing progress. Of like if it is like the chief reason I don't like Souls games is that my brain doesn't interpret progress being made by dying and learning. Like for me, I have now
Right.
lost an hour of my life because I died on my way back to the souls and I just lost 60,000 souls. It's like, well, I'm like, that was a waste of my precious time. So
Sure.
it's like I'm glad that I overcame this within 24 hours. And I think if I hadn't done it today, I wouldn't have. I think I was in that window of like, I have a short window to try to remedy this. And if I don't, it's just going to sit on my Switch with the fucking 30 other games.
You're you're gonna get hooked
Yeah.
because the gameplay hook is that like, oh yeah, just put a couple hours in,
Yeah.
and then you're like, you put a couple hours in, and then you're like, okay, well, like, wouldn't hurt if I start up a new area, right?
Sure.
Or like a new little storyline, and then you're another 2 hours in. You're 4 hours in now. Now you're on your portal. You're laying in bed. Well, you're on your Switch, but you're laying in bed and you're playing, and you're just like, oh shit, it's 2 in the morning. And you're like, fuck. Like that's the type of game that this is. It is perfect for the portal. So I am glad that you're playing it on the Steam Deck because I think you're
Switch.
gonna get
On
much more.
Switch.
Sorry, Switch. Yeah, you're gonna get much more. Like I don't know, being able to take it on the go.
Yeah.
This is a perfect game for that because it looks great in handheld mode. So like it's just and the music's incredible. Look, here's the thing: if you like JRPGs, you should play Dragon Quest VII Reimagined. It's a great example of like older style JRPGs. It feels very low stakes in a great way. And with all these games, the stakes gets much higher at the end,
Yeah.
but like what you're going through. It's just a feel good. This is quintessential to me, quintessential cozy game. And Patrick, let me tell you, when you get vocations and you get to change what your party and you
Ooh.
realize that you can have the weirdest, wildest classes,
Nice.
then you're gonna be like, you're just gonna want to mess around and experiment. So like it's such a fun little game. I like highly, highly recommend it.
I am, yeah, because I by the end of that I was like, oh, I really don't like some of the character models. They like, especially Kiefer, the main like blonde guy, freaks me the fuck out the way his face looks. Like he looks like Matt Damon in Team America, but like medieval, and it freaks me out.
Okay,
And
let me just tell you right now, two things I need you to really be aware of that going forward not
okay,
to do. Uh, Make sure to save
okay,
always because there is no autosave. And so you can royally fuck yourself at a time
oh
if you're not saving when
yeah,
you see a
okay, that's
save
good to
point.
know.
Second, do not put any stat points or any boost towards Kiefer.
Great, good to know. Perfect. I
You
won't
should
do that.
just need to, because I don't want you to then have another meltdown
Yeah,
later.
sure. No, thank you.
All right.
Because
Great. Love
I
you. Bye.
did I did really enjoy my time with it, and because it's like historically, I do own. It was on like a deep discount at one point, Dragon Quest 11 on the Switch, so I do own that on the Switch, and it was one of those things like I'm gonna get to this eventually, but the few
Good.
times that I've scrolled over it, I'm like, is this the time that I start it? And I don't. And part of it is like the aesthetic. I've just never really liked the aesthetic of these games. But this one, oh man, other than some of the character models being freaky as shit, like walking around some of these environments is like it's like
They're
so pretty.
incredible to look at.
Yeah.
Absolutely fucking stunning to look at
Yeah.
times. And I'm like, there's something about that like almost clay model esque like art style that it has that just looks just beautiful
Yeah.
when like the light hits the water and it's just
Yeah.
sparkly
Yeah.
and it's just incredible to look at.
Yeah. So yeah, very much enjoying it now, and I'm pretty close to getting through the demo again. So I do think that I'll continue on with it. And yeah, and I'm glad that I have it on Switch because I've realized some of the story stuff is I'm not gonna just like skip every story beat. I'm skipping the second time through it for sure, but there are sometimes it's like I can be paying attention to another thing. Like the story isn't carrying that much weight
Right.
for me, but I like the loop and I like the going from A to B and doing the thing. So it'll be a good handheld game for me, I think. Have you been playing anything else, Cayman?
What else have I been playing? What else have I been playing? I pretty much jumped straight
Yeah.
into to Dragon Quest. I've been playing Rebirth. I guess I can talk a little bit about that.
Sure. Yeah.
Rebirth. I told Sid I was like, Rebirth will be my TV game. Dragon Quest will be my Portal game. And what ended up happening is that Dragon Quest became my everything.
Yeah.
And so I kind of stopped it. And I honestly think the real reason why I really enjoyed uh, Final Fantasy VII Intergrade I don't feel like this is an RPG anymore.
Oh,
Like
sure.
it doesn't feel like an RPG. I don't feel like it doesn't have that hook in me that like I really was hoping I was gonna get. I love the open world aesthetics and things, but like the game is fucking gorgeous,
Yeah.
and I love the story and everything and the characters and goddamn what I would do to fucking would just have Chadley as my buddy at all times, like that kind of stuff. And it's like great. So I will go back to this after I finish Dragon Quest Seven. I might even go back to it more like sooner than that,
Yeah.
and really start to put in time on the TV again on it. Because I am excited to get further in. Um, it just, I think it's a lot. It's a lot of a game, and it's a lot of mini games, and that really also kind of made it feel a bit like a drag. But neither here nor there.
Yeah. For me, it's been demo season, man. I played three
Yeah.
different demos for this show. I played
Noise.
Dragon Quest, as I mentioned. I also played the Pragmata demo on the Switch.
Ooh, I've heard
And
it's crazy good.
man, I am shocked at how much I like this. Like, you know, we've seen Pragmata several times. We've seen it in States of Play. We've seen it in Directs now. I think it was in a Summer Game Fest at some point. Like, I've
Yeah.
seen Pragmata so many times. And to say that it's never grabbed me is such an understatement. Like, every time I see it, I've thought it just looks so like basic sci-fi. None of the characters look or sound interesting. It doesn't do anything for me. But it just finally, like, especially the people in the Discord, like Coal Mines, Noah, other folks, how much they were talking about Pragmata and how much, and you know, Capcom, like Capcom rarely misses these days. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try Pragmata, and I fucking loved it. Like, if you're watching the video
Wild.
version right now, like the combat is so unique in that it's like a third person shooter, but you're always fighting against these AI machines, which I love. I love trying to kill AI. But every time you aim at an enemy, this like puzzle comes up next to them that your face buttons on your controller is just like up, down, left, and right. So like circles right, X's down, etc. And you have to like get through these different gateways or you know different things that might give you a shield boost or you know whatever. There's like different things that you can try to get, or you can just like go directly to knock them down in their stat, what you know, whatever this thing does. But it's just like a fun thing that I've just never really experienced in a game before. Which you know, you like we've talked about before. Like we love that shit of like, is it doing something
Right.
new? And this to me, it's like I've never felt this kind of a shooter vibe before, and you know, I don't really feel connected at all to the characters yet, but you know, I only played it for 30 minutes in the demo, but I do think this might be a day one for me. Like I'm really
Really
impressed with Pragmata. Yeah. Like unless the
interesting.
reviews come out in enough time where people are like, if you're on the fence, don't worry about it. But if you know you're gonna love it, you're gonna love it. Like maybe I'll wait a little bit for like a sale or something, but I was shocked at how much I liked it. Now I'm very interested to see how it's going to review because I could see it being a bit divisive, but
Sure.
I couldn't be hotter on Pragmata after playing that demo. So that
All
was
right.
fun.
All
Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And then the other demo I played, Reanimal, again on the Switch. This is a
Thoughts on
game
that?
again we've seen so many times in various states of plays, directs, etc. I played about 10 minutes of this demo and I stopped because it's like, oh, I get it and I like it and I want it. It's from Tarsier
Okay.
Studios, the creators of the first and second Little Nightmares, and it's like the exact same vibe that you would think, but to me, because I never played two, and I don't even think I finished Little Nightmares one. I always like admired Little Nightmares, but it just never really clicked for me in the way that it clicked for a lot of people, like especially Kayla. But I think Reanimal's gonna click the fuck in for me. Like I like the world. I think the world is so interesting already in just 10 minutes. Much spookier vibes so far. But it's
Yeah.
the same thing where it's like you're two small characters in a world where like everything is a lot bigger than you, and it looks so good. And so yeah, I'm locked in. This comes out very soon. But yeah, I was like, you know what? 10 minutes is enough for me. I don't want to play the demo anymore because I know I want this now. It was mostly just like a way to confirm my suspicions. So very, very
Oh
excited
yeah.
about Reanimal. I think this is going to, unless it has like technical problems, I expect this will perform very well for, I think Jerica drafted it in Fantasy Critic.
She's been a big champion for it over the last
Yeah.
over the last couple of years, the last year or so
Yeah.
since we really started to see it. So I wouldn't be shocked if that's where she landed.
Yeah, I'm thinking probably like
Did
high
anyone
80s for
did
that one.
anyone pick up Pragmata during the
No,
draft?
they didn't, and I think it's too late unless we were to have our second draft before it comes out in April. But I don't think
What about
we will.
drops?
So
When are we doing picking up
we can drop games, but
if you drop?
we can drop one game in the
Can't.
year, but you would then pick it up during the next draft. So like if
Gotcha. Okay.
if you were the only person to drop a game between now and the next draft, you would just get an additional pick at the end. Or you could wait.
Right.
Like if you're like, I only want to pick the 3 games that we have to pick, but that's kind of up to you.
Makes sense.
But yeah, essentially we just have the sanction you can only add on certain days during content.
Got it.
But yeah, I'm going to keep my eye on Pragmata for sure and Reanimal because both looked very good. But we teased this at the beginning of the episode, and now it is time to discuss it. This Thursday, we have a State of Play incoming came in. And the thing about States of Play is that they have been pretty dog shit for a while. Like, with the last time
That's
we
accurate.
got a showcase was 2023. And usually, I feel like at best, a State of Play has been like a 6, maybe a 7. A lot of the time, they're just bloated with shit we don't typically care about at large, or it's just like, oh, they're showing us that game again.
Right.
Now, this one though, as we get to this cycle that we always get into, maybe this one will be different. So this one's going to be 60 minutes. It's going to be this Thursday at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern.
Ooh, it's a fat boy.
It's a fatty. It's yes.
It's a full chunker.
Full chunk. I mean, this is longer. This is 18 minutes longer than the last PlayStation Showcase in 2023, which was like 42 minutes. So then it's like, okay, is this a trap? Is this going to just be worse because it's going to be more full of shit? Or is there going to be like a big chunk, like a 15-minute chunk of a game, maybe that we haven't seen before? So yeah, let's do some predictions. But before we get into specific predictions, what at a high level, like what do you expect? Are you expecting this to surprise us? Do you think it has a chance of being good, Cayman?
I feel like I'm always a pessimist about everything. I actually kind of think that this might be one that we like walk out from being like, oh yeah, okay. Like we're excited about Sony now.
Yeah.
Like I
God, I
think
hope
we've
so.
been very tepid on them for the last couple years because it's been a lot of remakes and a lot of just sequels and really not a lot of stuff. I don't know. They've just been quiet in a way that like some of the news stories make sense. You know, when it's like, oh yeah, well Sony canceled like 23 different things
Yeah.
over the last year because these games no longer do well. So I think we are now at a point where we start to see things coming from some of the studios that games were closed, like were shut on.
Sure.
I do worry that we're gonna get fucking Horizon Hunter Gatherer.
We'll probably see
I really
that
hope
more.
we don't have please none of it.
Please none.
Please.
Please no.
Please none of it. So I'm really hoping that the 60 minutes isn't like, oh, and we're gonna give you a 20-minute gameplay showcase of Horizon Shitstorm or whatever.
Shits and giggles.
Whatever whatever the fuck that is. And so I hope it's not that. And I feel positive that we will all walk out more pleasantly surprised than disappointed.
I hope you're right. Also, shout out Gianni Coal Mines, and I think there was just those two with the subs. I keep meaning to mention it. I'm like, I need to just break it and mention it because if I don't, I'm gonna keep forgetting. But shout out y'all, the real ones. But yeah, no, I do kind of. It's like I don't want to give myself false hope, but it's like it's been so long since we had a great State of Play. It's like part of me is like, at some point it's gotta be, and like maybe this is the one. I did pull up for reference. This isn't every single thing we saw at last February's State of Play, but it is a lot of them. And it's like, actually, before I add any sort of color to that, let me just read these off and get your opinion. Borderlands 4 got a release date. We had seen it already several times, but we got a release date and an announcement that they were going to do a direct for Borderlands 4 or a State of Play. Tides of Annihilation was shown. Ichiban came to Day of the Diver. Days Gone Remastered was announced. It was the first time we saw Directive 8020, which we just got a date for today. Hell is Us got a release date and gameplay for the first time. Lies of P DLC was announced. Like a Dragon, Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii was shown off. I'm not sure if it was announced, but it was shown off. Lost Soul Aside was given a date that has still not been met, I don't think. Metal Gear Solid 3 was given a date. And then we got another Onimusha trailer. And then it ended with Saros' first reveal with no gameplay, just Rahul Kohli on the beach in a Housemark game. In hindsight, a year removed, how do you feel about that state of plays list?
I don't think it's as bad as people remember it being.
I
Like,
agree. And
people
I was
looking
one of the
back
people
on it,
being like, this kind of stunk. But I read through that and I'm like, that's a
yeah,
pretty decent lineup, actually.
yeah. So I don't think it was as bad. Um, yeah, I don't think it was as bad. I mean, I definitely don't think that there were. I mean, if you were a fan, then Saros was great for you when that got teased. If you're like a Housemark fan, then like you're creaming your leathers at that point. But like, I don't think there was a standout moment, at least for me, that was like, here's a huge title that you came in specifically will be excited about.
For sure. Yeah.
We did not get that. But that's also fine because there was people that are just as nerdy and as weird as me that did get excited because they did get a game with Saros.
Yeah.
Now, I think this time around there will be a game from Sony.
Make your
There
first
will be a
prediction.
game that we will say, do you know what? Weird that you're putting that out right now, but goddamn if I'm not excited.
Yeah.
And that is, I'm gonna say we finally get the Venom spinoff. We get an
Oh,
announcement. I think we get just a teaser, just like a one more thing, and it's just a stinger of it. And one would say like, and I understand the argument being like, they're not gonna
interesting.
do that because Wolverine's coming out. They're not gonna do that.
But it's fucking
But here's
insane.
the thing: I think Sony's going to. I think, and the reason why I think they're going to is because they really need to start this year off with an exciting something to get their name back in the cycle. Because so far, I think Saros comes Wolverine at the end of the year. That's really what Saros we are getting Saros this year, right?
Yeah, it's April, I think. I think it got moved to April from
April.
March.
I think that this is it. I think that February, because I do think this is Sony's time to like say things. This is the time they've chosen in the past, I feel like. And so I do think that we get a Venom spinoff. I do think we get that.
I don't I don't dislike it. I kind of do because like I think a lot of us just assumed that Venom was kind of like quietly canceled, but that would be such an Insomniac move to be like we've already
Well,
shown you Wolverine. Now we're going to show you Venom too.
okay. Let me tell you why I think this is the case. I think the reason this is the case is because one, we're on like the cusp right now of like the Spider-Man engine probably needed to be revamped for
Sure.
whatever the next game is. So you want to suck life out of what you can get. I also think the other thing too about this is we know there's more than one like Insomniac team working on games. I mean, look at Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart.
Yeah.
So like we do have that, and I think this is the bigger reason. Insomniac canceled. They canceled the Spider-Man 2. They canceled the DLC, which was going to be
Mm,
Venom DLC. They canceled that. And I think that what was canceled from that is not because they canceled it because they were like, we're now moving on to another project. We're not supporting this anymore. I think they canceled it because they had the Lost Legacy style scenario of this is bigger than a DLC.
sure.
And it's going to be more like a Miles Morales sized game. I don't think we're going to get it until like probably February of next year or maybe summer of next year. But like now would be the perfect time to get the name out there to be like, and we've got that too.
It was leaked today, I think it was. Coal Mines mentions that Spider-Man 2 was leaked for PS Plus Extra for February. So it could be a little Spider-Man 1-2 punch. Here's my follow-up question to you, though, because I think I am fully convinced we see Venom tomorrow now from this prediction. Do we also see Wolverine then? Or do we only see Venom? Because I do
I
feel like
think they're
if
going
you
to
only show us Venom and not Wolverine, I feel like that sends a bad message.
I think what they're gonna say is they're gonna say we're gonna be doing a Wolverine showcase on X date.
Oh, sure. Do
We'll
you like at the
see.
end of the Venom trailer, like for a
Right.
deeper dive in Wolverine, lock in this summer.
What they're gonna do, they're gonna set it up like this. It'll be set up like this. It'll be like they're gonna come out. It's gonna be Wolverine's claws and things like that. They're gonna be doing a showcase
Yeah.
of some sort of something about it, and they're like, "But we've been working on something else." Boom, we hit Venom. Then they loop it back around by saying, "But we do want to talk more about Wolverine. We're dropping this a longer showcase in July."
I'm convinced fully that we see Venom tomorrow.
I just
And if
painted
we
the whole
don't,
story.
I will riot.
Fucking revolt. Yeah,
Okay, but
yeah,
here's my follow-up question. It's a sad question.
yeah.
Do you think the passing of the late Tony Todd impacts that as he was Venom?
No,
Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay.
No, I think Tony Todd being there, I think is a big deal, but like they are going to be more so. It's going to be like a situation where it'll be like a pass off. Like there'll be a dedication to Tony Todd probably in game. There's also going to be like a thing that they'll make some notice of it, but it'll be like Troy Baker doing the voice of Venom now,
Sure.
some
Doing
shit
his
like
impression
that,
of Tony Todd. Sierra says
Right.
Insomniac tweeted apparently earlier today that spring 2026 is when we're going to see Wolverine again. So I guess that was them getting ahead of we will not see Wolverine tomorrow at the State of Play, is what I read between those lines of Sirius's report.
I don't know.
Our number one reporter in the field, Sierra Shard. Okay, I like that. Venom spin-off announcements at tomorrow's State of Play. Let's keep it in the world of Sony for
Yeah.
me, because I do think we get at least one big Sony thing. Because like right now, to your point, all we have is Wolverine and then also Marathon and Saros. You said Saros, but you didn't say Marathon. So those are like the three PlayStation games that we know are coming this year. The second two, 100% coming because they're slated for first half of the year. Wolverine without the date, but I think it's relatively safe to assume that will be the October game for PlayStation. I will be shocked if that does not hit 2026. Especially because it's already been like delayed behind the scenes. Like it was supposed to come out last year was kind of what the unofficial reporting was. But because of their getting hacked and shit like that just delayed everything is what it sounds like. Sony Santa Monica. I wonder if it's time for Sony Santa Monica, or and maybe I'm taking too much of the prediction pool with this. The 2.5D whatever God of War thing that's just been rumored for fucking ever. Like I feel like either we see Sony Santa Monica or that one of those two things has to be at this State of Play. I think.
So is it gonna be like? Is it supposed to be like a Lost Crown?
I think so. I don't remember. I honestly have not like really digested a lot of it because anytime I hear about it, I kind of like don't care based on what I'm hearing. But
That's
I
fair.
think it's supposed to be like a Spartan era God of War again.
Right.
In some version of like a 2D, 2.5D, something like that.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I guess I'll say because okay, so actually to ask another question from this prediction and then I'll solidify my prediction. Do you think because it's been now 3 calendar years in terms because it was 2023 was the last time we got a showcase and I want to say it was maybe June. I don't remember the exact month, but it was definitely 2023. And we've not had one since then. It's like, do we even have showcases anymore? Because I do feel like a Santa Monica game is a showcase game if showcases exist. But if they don't exist, at some point it's got to be at a State of Play. So why not this one? I guess is my thinking.
Right.
But do you think that like showcases are still a thing for Sony, or is their branding just so fucked that it doesn't matter?
I don't think it matters, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Sony is just trying to figure out how to combat their internal issues more than anything else.
Yeah.
And I think that what we get is basically just a product of whatever's happening at that point in time.
Sure.
Like they're so like hung up with just like Marathon is not going to do well, and I think we all know that. And then there's just like there was the Insomniac leaks, and there's all these kind of turmoil inside. And so I think that they're like, yeah, whatever we put out, we put out.
Yeah.
And they don't really care, I think. And I think before we were like, I think they didn't care because they were doing so well. That's why they didn't care. But I think it's because they're just like, we have bigger fish to fry right now, and a
Right.
showcase keeps our fans off our ass for a little bit. So
Yeah.
here's whatever we can give you. I think that's where we're at.
Sure.
So
No, you're probably
yeah,
right.
that's where I'm at. There, that's more where I would say it stops.
I'll go ahead and just say that both. That's two of my predictions.
Okay.
2.5D God of War, and then Sony Santa Monica's new game. Their sci-fi game will be present.
Then I think you're gonna love this one. And I think that if all of my predictions that I'm going to announce today, this is the most realistic, and you're going to say, when I tell you, you're going to be like, whoa.
Whoa.
What is a developer that Sony is in bed with for a good part? Like a big developer, big brand, Capcom.
Mm-hmm.
Capcom a lot of times announces new shit at Sony
Oh yeah, they do.
showcases. So
Oh,
I'm going to
I see
bring
where
to
you're
you
going.
something today that I think that everyone is going to be surprised by. Tomorrow, which is Wednesday, we won't hear anything, but on Thursday when the state of play is going to happen, we will be given our first look at Dead Rising 5.
Oh, that is not where
Put
I
it
thought
in
you
the
were going.
books. Put it in the books.
Dead
Dead Rising
Rising
5.
Five.
It won't be called Dead Rising 5. I will take a half point
Wow.
though if they announce a Dead Rising 2 remaster.
Sure,
But
I'll allow that.
I think that we are going to get a full-fledged, and let me tell you what the rumor on the street is.
What's the rumor on the
That
street here, Cole?
they are like full in, and a lot of support's getting put behind this because of how well the remaster did and just that love of Dead Rising.
Interesting.
It will be set on a movie lot. And so you're trading in the mall and the casino for a movie lot where it's just different movies. The rumor is that the big bad is a villain who's like a crazy director who's using psychopaths to like shoot a movie basically. And
Uh-huh.
Frank and his cohort have to try to like survive this like getting stuck on this movie set. And so all these different like so the variety of level design is going to be like each set will of a different movie. It's like a sci-fi set and a desert set, stuff like that. So you'll have like that like on a big movie lot. I feel very strong about this.
Yeah.
That I do think that this is because of Capcom's relationship with Sony. This is also, I think, a game that people are going to be really excited for, and I think Sony could really use that right now, just to
Sure.
have this as like a hype moment for them. So yeah, I'm locking in Dead Rising sequel.
You were so close. I think you were so close to getting that correct. But I think
What
the
were you gonna say?
Capcom that we see is I think we get Onimusha Way of the Sword's date on Thursday.
Okay,
I
that's
think
actually
that's the
pretty
Capcom we see.
solid.
Because
I
I
don't
was
have baby
thinking.
back boy picks.
Oh, sure, sure,
Okay.
sure. No, your pick is more fun than my pick. Because I first thought, do we get the Code Veronica remake? But we don't get another Resident Evil announced before Requiem. I think they
No.
let Requiem everything. It's just full speed ahead on Requiem. No other Resident Evil exists right now, so let's just make sure we're selling as many copies. So honestly, we probably see that again, but that's not my prediction. But I do think it is time to get because Capcom's going to be there for more than just Resident Evil Requiem. Capcom is just they're always at these things. They were just at the direct in multiple ways. I think they're going to be at the state of play in multiple ways, and I think one of the multiple ways is Onimusha's release date. And I bet it's going to be like a September or something like that. Is my swing. Um, Decent says these predictions all on point. Holy, decent. I liked what you're putting
Oh,
down. I like this. I like this belief that you have in us. Also, Sierra says you're all wrong. Dino Crisis is back. The Yelp. I would Yelp if Dino Crisis came back. I'd be
I don't
so
know after
fucking
Code
excited.
Violet.
Yeah, I
After
don't.
Code
Yeah,
Violet's giant shit on the floor, I fear that the Dino Crisis may never come back.
yeah.
I feel like people are terrified of this now.
I think with how successful the Resident Evil remakes are going, if Code Veronica is a huge hit, like I do think there is a world in which Dino Crisis happens eventually, but I just don't think we're quite there yet. But maybe by like 2032, if we're still playing video games, if we still have our freedoms and our fun little toys, maybe we get Dino Crisis by then.
Maybe.
But yeah, Onimusha release date sub part of the bet or prediction is that it's September.
I'm gonna stay in the vein. I'm gonna throw one out here, float it. I don't think it's actually gonna happen, but I'm gonna float it anyway. Dead Island 3. There was a basically like a memo got leaked a few weeks back that basically was like Dead Island 3 is in development, and oh my god, Dead Island 2 sold really fucking well.
Really?
Like it was I think it said that it did double or triple the expectation of like what it was gonna sell. And so there's been like a
Damn.
lot of faith of like let's do a Dead Island 3. Let's put the devs behind Dead Island 2. Let's put them to it. So I think that there's always a chance. That's a pipe dream though.
Sure.
A more realistic situation, a little game that will be titled. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
Lies of Oz. I think we get the first tease. I think we get the first teaser for the sequel to Lies of P, The Lies of Oz, which will take place in a decrepit and fucked up land of land of Oz.
Oz's stock right now couldn't be fucking higher because of Wicked. So
Well, it's also I'm pretty sure it's in public domain at this point. And then on top of that too, I think the other big thing is it's like been kind of secretly confirmed that that's where they're going anyway. We know
yeah,
we're
there's
getting a
some
sequel
kind
to
of
Lies of
like
P.
there's some kind of
Yeah.
like post credits thing or something.
Yeah, I think it's
I think I heard about.
Overture's post credit. So I think that that's kind of a
That'd be dope.
wild one of like it's
I
either
mean,
I'm like wondering Overture came out last year, which makes me a bit hesitant, but
and it was announced at the
part of me
February State of
also
Play.
part of me also is just like, yeah, like there's no reason for them not to just be like hype it up a little bit. And this may even be one of those two where it's like, oh, an Overture is now on State of Play or now on PlayStation Plus. If you have Lies of P, you can play Overture for free. So like, could see something wrapped up in that, but I think it'd be a fun one.
Sure.
Let me throw out one more. Actually, no,
Oh,
I threw
he's
out two.
going
You
three
go
in a row.
next.
He's going three in a row.
No,
Goodness.
you went two in a row. I was
I
trying to
did.
catch up to make it.
And
a
then
little
you
more
went two in
even.
a row, it's fair.
Okay.
But
Good,
three in a
good to
row.
go.
I had to put my
Good to
foot
go.
down on three in a row.
Yeah, put your foot down, big boy.
I'll put it right on your fucking neck. I think another easy one. So feel free to give me a spanking, or if you want me to make it harder, I'll pick a date. We got to get the Ghost of Tsushima Legends date.
Ghost of
Yote has
Yote Legends.
yes, Ghost of Yote Legends date. I feel like Yote's been out long enough now, and we know that Legends is coming in 2026. I feel like a date for this is kind of a slam dunk.
Right.
But
I'm there.
I feel like if we don't get it in the State of Play, then I feel like it'll be a tweet in like a month. But then it's like, why wouldn't you just do a State of Play? I know how much goes into like a
Right.
trailer or whatever. But do you feel like it's
I'm there.
time for a Legends date?
I'm picking up what you're putting down. I'm with you on that one. I think a Legends date's a solid choice. It's a little gimme,
Then let's
You're just
say
trying
let's
to
say
pad the
this.
stats here.
Sure. Well, you beat me every time. Let's say this. Half a point if it gets a date, but I only
Okay.
get the full point if the date is in the summer.
Okay.
I feel like it's probably
that's a
more
solid
imminent.
drop.
I feel like it's probably more imminent than like fall.
You want to, yeah, you want to be, or may even be like in Legends drops today. Like
That'd
I
be
wouldn't be
crazy.
shocked to see that. Like Legends is out today.
Yeah.
That would be actually a huge deal. I would put more money on that because you got to think we're pushing. If you push it to summer, we're now like you're now starting to compete with time, and sure, Requiem drops at the end of the month, but like that's an extra 2 weeks that you can get in on that.
Summer does feel way too late.
But and then like if April is Saros and Marathon is whenever
March.
Marathon is, so like
March.
I don't know.
May.
Maybe
it's
summer.
in a month.
Maybe summer works. Maybe summer works.
No, I think you're right. I think and I'll keep summer because that's what I predicted. But I think within 3 weeks actually makes a lot of sense for this. If it's like not a today thing, but it's like, oh, okay, marathon. So okay, so marathon is beginning of March then. So then 3 weeks it wouldn't be because that would go right up with marathon. So maybe it's like either it's very imminent, like within a week, or it's like end of March maybe. So it gives marathon some room.
But if Saros is in April,
end of April though.
End of April. This just still feels too tight
It
everywhere.
does.
I would
But
put my
then,
money on putting it closer to this launch of Marathon because Marathon's not going to do well.
well, sure. But then I don't know. I feel like if you last year our big thing against Sony was like, where are the fucking games? But if you could say beginning of March is Marathon, end of March is Legends, end of April is Saros, May is, I guess, nothing technically right now. But I mean, that's a good run there to kind of like get some fucking PlayStation momentum again.
Right.
But then I don't know, maybe it's better to be like March Marathon, April Saros, May Legends,
Can someone in the
June
chat
God of War 2.5,
like
whatever.
just rattle off the last couple of years like big drops during the summer? So June, July specifically.
Okay. That's a good
Like
little
I want to know
task.
like if there have been because I feel like June and July is normally no, I take that back. I think a couple years ago it was Final Fantasy 16 dropped in June.
June. That was like a June. That was an
Um,
early June, I think.
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, someone in chat pop
Off
off
the
a
top
few
of
of
my
those. Let me
head,
know if it's
the
cool. If the summer months are cool in the
I
games
will
industry.
say, I mean, in 2020, June and July, we got Tsushima and Last of Us Part 2, but that was, 6 years ago. But I
Right.
do remember those months
Interesting.
specifically were those games.
What if
Yeah.
I threw a slam dunk?
Give me a dunk.
What if I threw a slam dunk, Patrick? What if I threw
Throw a
it?
slam dunk.
Let me throw. You just say do the LeBron James Dwayne Wade thing where you just throw up and all like and all slam like throw alley oop me. Go ahead and alley oop me. Black Flag Remaster finally comes out.
Oh, nice, nice, nice.
This game's gotta fucking come out.
So a date? You're thinking a
It
date?
has to come out. I think we get in a full-fledged announcement and a date. It has to come out. Ubisoft is literally drowning right now.
Sure.
Like, I wouldn't even be shocked if they do a showcase within that's like a 5-minute gameplay of like one of like a big mission in Black Flag that everyone remembers. And
Yeah.
like it's that like recreated. Like
I mean,
we've been
my
hearing about this game
question
for forever.
is, and don't laugh, does Ubisoft have the money to be in a state of play right now?
I think Sony would just be like, oh, we'll throw you a bone.
Yeah,
Let us
maybe.
announce it for you, and we'll cut you a deal. Let us announce it for you.
Sure.
We'll cut you a deal.
Maybe.
Because the truth is, if they did it, that would be a huge fucking moment. People would be talking about the state of play
Sure.
in a positive way if this came out. So it actually would benefit Sony to be like, hey, let us do this for you.
Sure.
So also, you can't pay us because you're so fucking broke. So like, it's a win-win for both groups,
Sure. I have three more that I've
I
considered.
have 3 more too.
Okay. I'm going to rattle off two of my three.
Okay.
And I kind of don't expect either of them, but we can't do a prediction episode in which I don't predict that we finally see the BioShock game. Because at some point, Cayman, I'll be correct.
At some
Now,
point.
is it going to be the state of play? No. BioShock is too big for a state of play randomly. That is a Game Awards. That is a Summer Game Fest. That is we all of a sudden get a telegram from 2K that says tune in 48 hours
Right.
for an event, and then they get fucking 9 million views or whatever. But I
Right.
got to take my I got to shoot my shot. BioShock.
I love that you're shooting your shot. What's your next one?
Judas. I feel like maybe we see Judas again.
Okay.
But, 1A 1B. Very similar vibes, but it has been over a year now since Ken Levine sat down with, I think it was Friends Per Second, with like the extended interview about the re-reveal of
Right.
Judas, in which they were like, we're not that close still, but like we're making really good progress, and we haven't heard a fucking peep in over a year about Judas.
Correct.
And so I kind of feel like maybe a state of play actually is the move instead of waiting for something like a Summer Game Fest to at least show us more and be like a date at Summer Game Fest or whatever.
If this game drops in the summer, then like I feel like a state of play announcement would be fine, but you're right. This is a Summer Games Fest, a Game Awards announcement. Um,
Serious answers your question. Tears of the Kingdom, Erd Tree DLC, Hogwarts Legacy, Mario Kart World, and Bonanza all summer. A very Nintendo
so it's a
heavy.
Nintendo heavy
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, then I don't know. Then I feel like I kind of double down on the summer thing and not being in summer
Yeah.
if it seems so Nintendo dominant.
Yeah, it does. Nintendo does kind of have summer locked down, huh?
They really do. They really do. Okay. Let me throw. I'll rattle off two of mine
Okay.
and save one. First is going to be Microsoft makes an appearance, and what I mean by that is
Like
either
Gears or...
there will be a mention of like, oh, in our some sort of they we either mention Microsoft by name or we see get like Avowed or Starfield or Gears of War, like a mainline IP now
Sure.
with Microsoft will appear on screen in some capacity. Um, I think
Gianni
that's
calls
probably
out
an
maybe
easy one.
Forza or Avowed. That would make sense.
True, yeah, Forza would be another good call out, being like, and then we'll have Forza will be coming to the PlayStation on blah blah blah. So
Yeah.
there's a chance, or Avowed, because Avowed should be dropping literally that week, right? Next week.
I think
Avowed
so.
drops? I think
Yeah,
next week Avowed drops.
I
I
think
might
so.
actually play Avowed. I might actually play Avowed
I
now
think
that
you
it's
would
on the
fuck with Avowed
PlayStation,
a lot.
which is wild to say. But it's just such a tight month right now.
It is.
It is a tight month. So Microsoft makes an appearance. My other one being, and this is a wild one, absolute fucking curveball. They've been really tech heavy lately on some of these showcases, talking tech. And I'm talking, we're going to bring out the PlayStation Portal 2. I think we will get either a true like this is it won't be I don't think it'll be called the PlayStation Portal 2, but I think it'll be some upgraded version of the Portal. Whether
Um,
it's like has a bigger screen or has some sort of something that's baked into it that's
Earlier,
ends
when
up
we
being
very
a thing.
first started the discussion, Cirrus said OLED Portal could do OLED
Could do OLED. That's a good call.
for
That's a
Portal.
good call. Yeah. So I think we're gonna get an upgraded Portal. I think the Portal sold incredibly well,
Yeah,
according to all metrics. It sold really well. And I think Sony's not going to back down. I think they know that they need to be in the handheld market again. And I think that I think we're gonna get a midway point between this and
yeah.
the PlayStation Vita 2.
I tell you what, man. As an OLED truther, like I am such a snob when it comes to OLED, it being so much better than all screens. The Portal is fucking close, man. Like that
It's so
screen
good.
is so good. Like looking at it next
Yeah.
to the Switch OLED, not the Switch 2, but the Switch OLED is like, man, yeah, the Switch is brighter, and it like the reds. It's like red is such a good OLED color, and then Nintendo does that so well. But like the Portal looks fucking good. So it's like I wouldn't
Yeah.
upgrade to an OLED Portal unless there is like more under the hood that makes it better. Because also I have the anniversary Portal, so it's like that would I'd feel
You do have a good
crazy
one.
to get another
I could
Portal.
see them doing something like, oh, we've got technology that helps stabilize cloud streaming with this new chip that we have that gives you better connectivity and less frame rate drops when you're playing and something like that. Something
Yeah,
under the hood that's just a marginal
Bluetooth
improvement and a
Cirrus with another
right.
good call out.
Yeah, so like just some sort of upgrades in it. And I think this will be, like I said, I think this will be the midway point between
Yeah,
that, like at the Vita 2, where you'll actually have standalone games that will live
yeah.
on it that you can play offline.
Maybe if the Portal upgrade is that good, maybe if I get a little extra money at some point, I'll just have the uh, anniversary Portal be a prop for the
A
podcast.
beautiful object. You just gotta dust it regularly.
Exactly. And kiss it and maybe just turn the vibrations on for a bit. All right, my last one came in. I mean, these last three, I don't think I'm gonna get a single one of them. But this one, I've been inspired lately. We talked about them earlier on the show, but our compatriots at the J Games podcast just talking about Wolf Among Us. Is it time?
It's not time. It's
Is it
never
time for the
time.
Wolf Among
We're
Us
never
2, Cayman?
getting, never happening.
I predict my official last prediction for Thursday's State of Play, Cayman, is that we
Mm.
don't get much, but we get old Bigby Wolf with a little growl, eyes light up in the darkness kind of thing. And it says The Wolf Among Us 2 still in development.
Probably. That part, yeah, we'll get that part.
Yeah.
It'll come with a caveat, that's for certain if we get it.
The Wolf Among
I
Us 2,
love where your head's at.
please help us.
Sorry. I don't love where your head's at because I think you're wrong. I love where your heart's at though.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, it was that or Beyond Good and Evil 2, but we already talked about Ubisoft with Black Flag remake.
Let me throw you one on my last one that I think is just as exciting and probably just as unrealistic. And that is that we will have an announcement of a new game from a PlayStation mascot that we haven't seen in forever. So I'm talking a PlayStation mascot that has not got a true game since the PlayStation 3. So I'm talking Jack, Sly. But I'm not going to say Ratchet and Clank because we've got a Ratchet and Clank game. Yeah. So I'm not going to say Ratchet and Clank. Sir Daniel Fortescue.
Yeah.
From Medieval.
Yeah.
Gex.
Sure. I do feel like
maybe I might even I don't know if I'd necessarily want to throw Crash in there, but like not Crash, no Crash. We can't have a Crash in there. But we have like an OG PlayStation mascot.
Me and Gianni are on the same page. I think Sly is the most likely. And then I would say Jack and Daxter is after that. And it's the kind of thing where it's like I could see Naughty Dog giving the keys of Jack and Daxter to fucking Team Asobi even. Like, you know, Team Asobi has a cash cow in Astrobot, so they shouldn't do anything other than Astrobot for a while. But
unless Team Asobi splits up into two.
Yeah.
Like you have a smaller portion of Team Asobi. They're like, you guys crushed it. Take your all-stars, make a smaller, like we'll just have a little branch off studio, and you guys make a new Sly game.
Team Tusobi?
Make it a
team.
Make it a. Team Tubi? Team Tubi? I think you split those off and you say make a 15-hour Sly game.
Yeah. Maybe.
You know?
Johnny says, I feel like Jack is so beloved, I almost feel like they wouldn't let anybody touch it unless it's a full remake a la Blue Point. To which I say, one, sure. Two, what the fuck is Blue Point doing?
Working on a Jack game right now, according to my prediction.
Maybe.
I don't know. I think it'd be fucking wild. Imagine just having like an announcement where we get a fucking new Sly Cooper game.
That'd be crazy.
Out of nowhere. Like a remake of the original would be wild.
That would be crazy. I remember you remember when that Bend game was canceled? The like God of War multiplayer or whatever. I think Blue Point was caught up in that. I think that was also partially a Blue Point project, I think was the rumor. So I think maybe that's why we also haven't seen Blue Point in a while.
That fucking sucks. I know whatever they were working on was not a remake. They were working on a new game, but I don't think it was specified if it was a new IP or not.
Yeah. So yeah, who knows? But I do hope we see them because they're so fucking good. But man, a gritty, realistic Jack and Daxter from Blue Point. Come on.
Should I alter my pick and say PlayStation All Stars 2 instead?
I mean,
if we ever get a PlayStation,
also accept PS All Stars 2. Great.
We would have mascots in it, dude. I always say this, and I say this even more now after I whooped everyone's ass at the in-person on Capcom or Marvel vs. Capcom.
Well, you know what? You and I never fought, which was a problem because you and I were the ones that never lost. And then we just never fought each other.
I found out I was great at fighting games. What I'm saying is I think I now have to lean into that. If PlayStation All Stars 2, I'm become a PlayStation All Stars guy.
Ooh,
again.
I love that.
Again.
Who wants to step into the dumpster?
Who wants to step on in?
Who step on in, brother?
Step on in, brother. Get in the dumpster.
Johnny says, I was heartbroken when the canceled Jack 4 concept art leaked because it looked so good. I don't think I remember that. I never played Jack or Daxter or Jack.
Put it in Discord. Put it in Discord. I want to see it.
I want to see it. I want to see it so bad. Before we move on, I do want to bring in Coal Mines had sent in some predictions in the Discord. You can join the Discord by going to dropindropoutpod.com. And we usually have these sorts of discussion questions that we put in that we bring in to the conversation. And Coal Mines also dropping a chat right now. How about that? Coalmine's, his ears were burning. But he said Tokon character showcase, which we did get a leak that Tokon's going to have 20 characters, so maybe we do see a little Tokon fighting souls tomorrow. He also said Wolverine gameplay showcase perchance. The Horizon slop will make an appearance surely. I think that is also fair. Yet another RE9 re showing, also fair. Oh, and then DMC6, but that's kind of a layup at this point. Did you hear about this? The DMC6 leak?
No.
We might be getting a
No.
DMC6 game, which that would be Capcom, right? Or is that Capcom?
That would be Capcom. So it could steal my thunder from
Yeah.
Dead Rising.
Yeah. Marathon gets a semi deep dive. I could also see Marathon getting its own like 10-minute showcase again.
Sony doesn't. I don't think Sony does it. I think Sony knows that it's fucking dead in the water.
Sure.
They're gonna fucking that game is gonna fucking be Concord 2.0.
He also says, I think Saros doesn't get anything in the showcase. They'll save that for a Saros State of Play close to release, which I do agree with. I could see that happening for sure. And then he says, semi-confident predictions. Tides of Annihilation finally gets more shown with a release window. I think that's a pretty good one, too. Because Tides of Annihilation, I think, was shown at the last February showcase. But we just obviously haven't gotten a date yet. And then he says, whatever Sony Santa Monica is cooking with God of War. So pretty aligned with Coal Mines. Coal Mines could have been on this panel tonight and would have said a lot of similar things. And then in the chat, says, I look back at my list and I'm increasingly confident that Tides of Annihilation will be there. Will be a year to the day since it was revealed at the state of play. There you go, and still has no date. Sony's been assisting hard on gameplay trailers and the like. They have the room in a 60-minute direct, and they might maybe capitalize on Jennifer English hype. I think you're probably right. Sure. Sirius says, I think they'll announce the Pisser 2 is dropping with Marathon as the first title. Because the Pisser 2 update is supposedly dropping at the end of the month, they'll probably have a collection of titles that will see it. So the Pisser 2, is that just for... Because I've not really been up to date on the Pisser 2. Is that just for the PlayStation Pro? Plus, whatever the fuck they call it, PlayStation 5 Pro? Or just for the Pro, but it will be important for the future? I see, okay. Huh, interesting.
This wasn't a joke, the Pisser isn't a joke.
The PSSR, the PlayStation Super Sampling Remix 2, whatever that, I don't know, whatever it stands for. But it's their version of like DLSS, the PlayStation LSS, which is what gives the PlayStation 5 a lot of its power. That's exactly right. It's dick sucking. Dick lips sucking.
This is why my wife was like, it'd be fun if we convinced the school. There was this whole bit about her school that she works for has like after school curriculum for kids, and all the teachers and staff and stuff work these things. And she was like, what would I even do? And I was like, oh, you should do a podcasting thing. Like, it's super easy to turn kids on to podcasting. Like, so fun. You would totally be fine doing it. It'd be whatever. And she was like, oh, she's like, you know what? If we push hard enough, we could get you to come in and like actually teach them how to do it. And I was like, see, here the problem with that is that when they went to go look at my like a sampling of my work, they would hear things like me saying dick sucking lips.
Sure.
And I don't think that they would let me onto that campus at all. No. If they heard anything if they listened to one singular episode of Save Trash Cinema, I would be canceled from the entire county.
No, honestly, I'm surprised at this point that, we've been doing the podcasts in some variation since fall of 2021. And I'm surprised still at no point in our work lives has someone in a position of power approached us and been like, hey, it's been brought to our attention that you say some really heinous shit on the internet. But it hasn't happened yet.
It's funny shit, though. It's funny shit.
It is. And
I'll stand by that.
I feel like once they see me take my shirt off and scream about Dragon Quest VII at the beginning of this episode, they're going to just understand that I am sick and that if they fire me, I will sue them on grounds of ADA. So I think it'll be fine. What you do off the clock shouldn't fucking matter, I fear. It shouldn't.
It shouldn't.
But all of a sudden you say that Charlie Kirk, never mind. Oh, brother. Coleman says Silent Hill dropped this an hour ago. Oh, hold on. Let's open this up. Silent Hill Transmission, February 12th at 4 p.m. Pacific. So that'll be after the State of Play by 2 hours. Huh. Could be something.
I don't think it'll be anything.
We'll see.
You know what? I take that back. I take that back. Well, no. Here's the problem: is Bloober Team is apparently working on. They've got a little teaser up right now, and what it seems like it's working on another brand new IP that maybe
The
part
Switch
of
one?
the Helmusi the Helmusi
Oh,
universe.
maybe.
Oh.
Do you know, is that the Switch
Yeah, I don't
title that
know.
they're working on?
I didn't know they were working on a Switch
Yeah, I
specific
think they're
title.
supposedly
Maybe
doing a new IP that's a Switch exclusive, I think, right? Coal
it's
Mines? I
like
think Coal Mines is supposed to
Onyx,
have that.
the Dark Grip or something. I was like a they like so it's like Chronos, the New Dawn. I think is that one, and then
Kronos.
this is called like Onyx, the Dark Grip or something. So it seems very, and it was like something they trademarked the title, and
Hmm,
so people think that's what they're going to be announcing. So,
I see.
but that isn't. Um, that is not
Project
going to
M is the
be
Bloober title for Switch, which we don't know what Project M
interesting.
is yet, but we're gonna find out this month. There's like they were teasing
The
that at some
other,
point.
the sequel to the other M,
Correct. Maybe this one will actually be good.
the beloved
Um,
other M.
uh, oh yeah. So the tweet is for Silent Hill Townfall. So definitely don't expect it for the state of play.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
That
me
game
too.
exists.
Me too. You know, I
Mm,
read it,
alright,
but I just like
mm.
didn't digest it at all. I didn't comprehend it, rather.
Yeah, that's
Um,
fair.
Cayman, so here's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, tell me.
Our second news story for today
Yeah.
is that showing up? Yeah, Obsidian's woes. We were going to talk about Obsidian not making Outer Worlds 3, and they're going to keep making games in the Avowed universe, which I think is a could be a larger conversation, but we are running a little long. Do you want to have this full conversation or a truncated version of it? Where's your brain at right now? How are you feeling?
I feel like Obsidian is very close to being just canceled outright.
You think so?
I text Patrick this. We had this conversation a few days ago where I said my depressing prediction of 2026 is by end of 2026, Obsidian will be dissolved, and I don't think it'll be the entire company is laid off, but I do think that they're going to roll bulk 75% of the company will be rolled over to Bethesda and probably put on Bethesda projects, and maybe Avowed gets rolled over to Bethesda as well, and they try to pick up some there. But like Obsidian is just they're hemorrhaging money. I
Well,
don't
apparently,
think
so
they,
this article, and let me actually bring in one little bit of this article. So it's a
please.
Bloomberg interview with Obsidian's head, Fergus Urquhart. I don't know that I'm saying that correctly. We're just going to call him Fergus for the rest. Um, but it is implied that Grounded 2 was a big hit for the studio, but
Okay.
that both Outer Worlds 2 and Avowed did not meet sales expectations, which that was kind of, I think, the more reported on story. But I do wonder if Grounded 2 was successful enough. Now, I don't think your head's in the wrong place per se, especially, Microsoft has a fucking track record. But I wonder, Outer Worlds not being as successful, Avowed being more successful but still not that successful. And then they go on to say that they're going to be making more games in the Avowed universe, not necessarily Avowed sequels, maybe, but like Pillars of Eternity is also it's the same universe, blah blah blah. Do you think Obsidian ends up getting Fallout back? Because Bethesda is not going to be doing Fallout anytime soon.
So I think it makes sense for Obsidian to be rolled over into Bethesda, and maybe they do it in a way that maybe they don't necessarily like shut Obsidian down, but Obsidian becomes more of a support studio like they were once before, like when they were doing New Vegas, and they become a support system, and like
Sure.
Bethesda's more over, like Bethesda's in more has more control. um, yes, I think that there's a potential chance that they do pivot them and put them on Fallout, but I don't think that they put them on Fallout without some level of oversight by Bethesda.
That would I wouldn't disagree with that. Like I could totally see that because like right now, like Todd Howard has hinted at like they've talked about Fallout 5, but that Elder Scrolls would be before that. And it's like we're not getting Elder Scrolls anytime soon. So it's like there's also this rumored Fallout 3 remake, which we don't know who is working on that, whether it's a Bethesda studio or somebody different. But it's like Fallout, I just don't believe a world in which Microsoft doesn't utilize the Fallout IP more than an Amazon show, because the Amazon show is a fucking hit. It's great. Season 2 just as good as season 1, if not in some ways better. So it's like, how could you only leave that to be television when
So,
Microsoft is kind of floundering for IP in some ways, right?
I mean, I don't disagree, and that's why I think that it's bringing them over and being like, okay, we're pushing off. We're not doing any more of this. We're not doing any more of that. You had your chance. You're coming back. You're taking over Fallout. And like, we will oversee this to make sure that this gets off the ground because, like, you know, it's not going great.
Yeah.
But I do think that if whoever's picking that up needs to at least pick up the engine they used for Starfield. I didn't love that engine, but the gunplay of Starfield was significantly better than Fallout.
Yeah,
So
that's
like
true.
I do worry a little bit that they're going to be like, "Oh, here's Fallout 3 remastered." And you're going to pick it up and play it and you're going to be like, "This feels like dog shit." Cuz even
Sure.
going back and playing Fallout 4 doesn't feel great. Like they don't feel good to play.
Right.
The VAT system was there to basically as like a crutch because of how bad the gunplay is in those games.
Sure.
And so I do think that it's more doing anything with Fallout, I think, and that's I think the reason why we as much as we want there to be a game there, I think that Microsoft knows they can't release it like that. I think Oblivion's easier to release because it's a lot easier to walk up and punch than it
Yeah,
is to have like any sort of tactical shooting.
for
And
sure.
so I think because of that, I think the lift is just significantly more heavy.
Yeah.
And so I do think bringing in a studio like Obsidian and putting them on that gives you the extra bodies you need to focus on all the other stuff.
Yeah.
And so, you know, that's where my head is at least on that one.
For sure. And like, we talked about it earlier, but like with Avowed coming to PS5, I also wouldn't be shocked if Avowed dropping on PS5 ends up pushing that over the edge of meeting their sales expectations, or at least getting a
Yeah,
lot
maybe.
closer. Because, Forza performed fucking incredibly well on the PlayStation. And
Sold better on the PlayStation than Xbox.
which is crazy. And it's like, I see Avowed being something that PlayStation gamers want, especially right now. Of like, there isn't really a game like that right now that PlayStation players can play. So unless they already have an Xbox, which a lot of people don't have both, now all of a sudden they have this 20, 30, 40 hour RPG that got great reviews, that was nominated for Game Awards, coming to the PlayStation. So it's like, yeah, I think, yeah, PlayStation printing money for Xbox. That's exactly right. Serious. So yeah, I don't know. That's why I kind of don't see Obsidian going away, but I do kind of don't see a world in which they ever release 3 games in a year again. Which,
No.
interestingly, that article that I was pulling from, Fergus is basically like, it was not our plan to release 3 games in one year, and in fact, the reason that we did that is because we screwed up, and we should have released at least one of them earlier, but it just happened to be that all of them ended up being in the same year, which ultimately was bad because now our support teams that are trying to support these games are spread thin. And it's like, we can't give as good of an experience for post production support because we're trying to support 3 games at once. But also, the nature of a
Right.
business is like, the thing is ready, it should ship so we can actually make some of our money back. Which I thought was very interesting. Of like, you would think, for people like us, we're talking like, man, how does Obsidian keep doing it? And it's like, well, that actually they view this as a failure that they launched 3 games in one year, which I thought was very
Right.
interesting. So yeah, we'll see. It's certainly something that we're going to be talking about more in our sphere of like, how does Obsidian move forward from here? Now
Right.
that publicly they have quote unquote failed on 2 of their 3 releases. So, in video games, typically that does not come with good news eventually, but fingers crossed that they don't get fucked. Cameron, let's wrap up with some news spotlight. We have a bit of a beefy spotlight today.
Hit me.
Some being interesting, some being sad, some being exciting. This one, some might say sad, But I say we could have seen this coming from a mile away. Borderlands 4 for Nintendo Switch 2 most likely axed, as Take-Two says
Yeah.
it's paused development. They made the difficult decision to pause development on that SKU, and their focus continues to be delivering quality post-launch content for players on the ongoing improvements to optimize the game on its current consoles.
Pour
Which
one
is
out
like,
for Cop. We.
yeah, right. And to Sears' point, still not fixed on those other platforms. So, yeah, they probably need all of the help they can get to get that game to fucking work. Next one, Take-Two has denied that GTA 6 will launch without a physical version. They said that's not the plan. I guess there was like this rumor going around that it wouldn't launch with a physical version for some reason, and it was
Interesting.
reported on so much that they commented on it, which I thought was very strange for Rockstar to do. But hey, that game's not coming this year, so who cares? This could have
You're
been a
fucking
big story.
lying.
Hey, well, I guess we'll find out.
He said
Uh,
they said that they felt confident that it will
yeah,
be
we'll see.
dropping this year.
We'll see. I'm so scared. Valve confirms Steam Machine price and release details have been delayed by exploding component prices. Now planned for the first half of the year instead of early 2026. I'm bummed
Oh
about this,
boy.
man.
Yep. Well, thanks, Elon Musk.
Yeah, fucking piece of shit. Yeah, I feel like
Fucking
I don't see this console being less than $1,000 at this point.
no, it'll be no. I would be shocked if it's less than 1,200.
Yeah, which is like that's gonna be a tough fucking thing to commit to.
So, especially when the rest of the market is fucking drowning right now and
Yeah,
things are not stable. Like this will be. I fear as though this will be the what was it the Steam machine, the first Steam machine. This will
yeah,
just be
yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
repeat of
Yeah.
like good
A Steam
idea, but
box.
just Steam box. I think feels right.
Yeah,
Great idea. Probably a fantastic, like actual product,
sure.
but just not something that anyone could actually use.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But yeah, I hope that
Boy,
it's a bummer, man, because I feel like Valve was on to something with this, and I mean it is still in theory, but something completely out of their hands with the fucking
right?
RAM market because of AI fucking bullshit. Get fucked AI. Um, we kind of alluded to this a little bit earlier, and our opinions slightly. But PlayStation and Gorilla announced the tactical co-op Horizon game, Horizon Hunter's Gathering. Also could have been a full news story, but we did cover it on Dido last week. But you and I weren't on that episode, so in 5 words or less, what did you think about Hunter's Gathering, Cayman?
Battleborn 2? Question mark.
Very good. Uh, I give it 2 months. It's my 5 words.
Correct. There you go.
Correct. Yeah, very
I
good.
gotcha.
Speaking of Capcom, earlier, Capcom confirms it will reveal a large-scale Monster Hunter expansion this summer. It must
Give a
be
shit.
so nice being a Monster Hunter fan, man. There
Don't
is
think
not
so.
a
They did
fan
not
base.
like that game.
Did they not? I thought they loved it.
They did no. There were fans were not cool with it. This did not have the impact that Worlds had.
So it's what the first one in
Like
like a decade that they didn't cream their leathers over.
pretty much, yeah.
This and
Like
Warhammer, those two fan bases typically are
dude,
just fed,
Warhammer
man.
eat good.
They fucking eat.
Constantly eating good in the Warhammer universe.
Yeah.
You got to do. They're real beefy boys.
This also could have been a full fucking story. Riot Games saying it's downsizing the 2XKO development team after a disappointing launch. Riot claims it'll make improvements with a smaller, focused team. To which I say, fuck you, Riot. You fucking
Which I
fumbled the
say,
bag.
how did you fuck that up? I genuinely thought it was going to be a game of the year contender.
How did they fuck that up, truly? Like, the feedback was so fucking strong on that game. But it cooked too long. They fucking burned it with how long they kept it in early access. Typically, I'm a very pro early access person, but early access killed 2XKO, I think, which is a shame because it did seem like that game was going to have some thick thighs.
Hmm.
And then finally, because demo season is returning, and I couldn't be happier, a Pokemon Pokopia demo will be available to play, but this one will be at the Pokemon European Championships this weekend. But I'm hoping that they will release the demo in full on the Switch, because I would love to see what the fuck Pokopia is all about. But that's supposed to be coming, I think, in June. I think. Let me see real fast. Are you gonna play the Ditto game?
Once I get a Switch 2.
March
Which may or may
5th.
never happen.
Pokopia is in less than a month. Holy shit! Yeah, coal mines. I should have just looked in the chat.
Jesus.
Jeez. Counter marathon programming, says Sirius, is very funny. I'll tell you what. I am more interested in playing Pokopia than Marathon. I will. Tell
I
you
mean,
that
I think
much.
most people are, to be honest.
Yeah, probably. Okay, man, that's our show.
Is it?
What did we miss?
That's it?
What did we miss, folks? Yeah, what did we miss in the
I don't know,
predictions
probably a lot.
and the news? We did cover coal mines predictions, and some of Sirius's. But let us know in the YouTube comments. What do you predict? If you see this before Thursday, and if you see it after Thursday, what did you predict that didn't come true? Own your mistakes, because if you don't own your mistakes, you can't learn from them. Cayman. That's what I always.
I can't wait to see in real time, because we're going to be on the show together, doing the live react to the state of play. So join us for the live react to the state of play, because we will actually be referencing these lists that we brought forward, and we'll be grading each other critically.
That's exactly right.
So if you want to see Patrick cry, do you want to see me cry? I mean, probably Jericho will be crying too, but we'll all probably cry at least at one point during that stream.
Heroic Edgar in the chat says, "I'm from the future. I predicted Patrick would show ass, and I was right." Well, if the future said it was true, I guess the prophecy will come true. Happen. The show we find on PlayStation will still be the most profitable tenfold. They don't have to try. I mean, you're probably right. Serious. I mean, you are right, but hey, that's our show. Why don't we go show some love to Shay Noel, who is playing Neo 3, which I drafted in Fantasy Critic, and it got me like fucking 14 points, and I'm pissed. Could have got me more.
Oh, did it drop? I'm sorry.
It dropped, yeah, because somebody took eugenics from me.
Which is doing what? What are the numbers on eugenics?
I think it's at 19 now. I think it's at 19. Yeah, dropped just below 20, which is very, very strong. But thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. Yeah. Thanks for listening. This has been the Spotlight Games Podcast. We will be back tomorrow night when I stream more of Resident Evil 4. And then, of course, Thursday for Drop In, Drop Out, dropinDropoutPod.com for all things Drop In, Drop Out. We'll see you next time. Until then, bye-bye.